Joining me right now is Ohio Congressman Michael Rulli, a member of the House Judiciary, Education, and Workforce Committees. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Mexico responded immediately. She said she wants to sit down and talk to President Trump. And she also said that the caravans are no longer reaching the United States. But what do you make of that response? Do you believe that she is, in fact, stopping the caravans? And she said so 12 hours after he made that threat. Are people already getting into line?
Once again, believe what we say, not what you see. I think her rhetoric is very irresponsible. We know there's a problem. I question how she got elected. Was it through the cartels? The cartels are running that country. I look forward to those conversations with President Trump.
So do you think, I mean, there's already USMCA in place, but President Trump told me he can change it because he put an amendment in there 6 years ago that said if he wants to change it 6 years later, he can, and apparently he is. What is this going to mean in terms of their help in stopping the cartels? You don't think that they can stop the cartels. You're telling us that the cartels are running Mexico.
I do believe the cartels are running Mexico. I think Donald Trump is the only one that can fix this situation, and he can pivot on a dime. If he needs to change how the narrative is going to be and how the tariffs are going to work with Mexico, I think he's going to execute that perfectly. I think I'm much more hopeful of the Prime Minister Trudeau out of Canada and his rhetoric, where he wants to work as our partner instead of our foe.
Trump's transition team reportedly putting together a wide-ranging energy package, meanwhile, that would approve export permits for new liquefied natural gas projects and increase oil drilling off of the U.S. coast and on federal lands. The president of the American Petroleum Institute, Mike Summers, joined me yesterday on this program on how Congress can help boost this agenda. Watch this. I'm going to get your take after this.
We need to get a permitting reform bill in place as quickly as possible because we're not able to build anything in this country right now, particularly pipelines and high-powered transmission lines. We're going to need a permitting plan in place that ensures that we can actually get this stuff built as quickly as possible. We need a tax plan that actually makes sense for the American people and American producers. And that tax plan should provide for sustainable growth for the American oil and gas industry for decades and decades to come. We also need to cut back on the regulatory agenda that this Biden administration has put into place, particularly their terrible EV mandates.
What do you think, Congressman? Will Congress be able to pass a permitting reform bill in short order?
We're already working on this. It won't be from day number one. It'll be right now. The president came and talked to our conference, and whether it's Leader Scalise or whether it's Speaker Johnson, we're making energy number one. And for particular, my district, the Ohio 6, we have enough in the Utica and Marcellus Shale to supply the earth for 500 years on its energy needs. So I am so hopeful. It's like Christmas came early with Speaker Johnson and Leader Scalise and President Trump. We will have a bill right to the American people. We'll pull back those regulations and we'll start drilling. And like they say, drill, baby, drill.
Well, I mean, it could be that, you know, the president of Mexico wants President Trump's help here if he, in fact, is going to help kill these drug cartels that are causing such havoc.
Well, we have the best special forces in the world, and if the president of Mexico wants our help, I know President Trump would be delighted to help clean that up. And I think, you know, whether it's the car industry or whether it's the oil and gas industry, I think it would really help Mexico to get on board with the Trump wagon. Yep.
Yeah. And that wagon, the priorities, as you just said, tapping into the energy capacity in America while also securing the southern border. President-elect Trump is vowing to abolish the Department of Education, meanwhile, and send education committees back to the individual states once he takes office. South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds already introducing the Returning Education to Our States Act. The bill would end the Department of Education, but also move key programs that it provides to other areas of government, such as the Department of Treasury or Health and Human Services and Department of Labor. Congressman, how do you see this working out? Do you see this in a practical way? Can you walk us through it?
I absolutely can. I spent 8 years on a public school board. I was the president for 4 years. When I took over, we were in fiscal watch, $3 million in the hole. We turned it around to $8 million in the black. You have to run it like a business. I'm going to say a simple 3 words: local, local, local. Get rid of the Department of Education. Bring that money back down to local where they know how to spend it best. My school district and a lot of the smaller school districts in Ohio operate on educating a kid between $7,000 to $9,000 a year. When you look at the major cities of Ohio, whether it's Youngstown, Akron, Canton, Toledo, especially Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, some of these schools are educating a kid for $35,000 a year, and they're graduating pretty much illiterate. We need to retool. You know, the Department of Education was created in 1979. Before 1979, we did quite well.
Yeah, that's all great points. We're going to be watching this. I think moms would like to see this implemented. They certainly have been frustrated by the current situation in the Department of Energy. Congressman, we'll be watching your work on that. Thanks very much.
Happy Thanksgiving, Maria.
And to you, happy Thanksgiving, Michael Rulli. Quick break, and is there another role for Elon Musk?